This is the second tutorial for 3B part 1. So in the last tutorial we created this query that joined together the installation and equipment tables and gave us a charge rate calculated field. And what we're going to do is we're going to use that as the subform data here. And it links back to the campervan by the campervan ID that we kept. So we're going to create a form, and we're going to use a form wizard, and the first data we're going to put on is all the campervan data. So you can see here we've got all the campervan data there. Okay, now we don't actually need all of these bits, so I'm just going to take those off. We'll just leave photograph on, because otherwise you've got to delete all of these little bits as they come. So just put photograph, and then we need to select that query that we created. Now we don't need the campervan ID because we've already got it, but it does need to exist within the query in order to link back to the campervan table. So we'll then put in all the other information that we need on the form. Now if we put it in order like this, so we go description, standard, install date, it will do it in that order for us as well. So description, standard, install date, then it was type, chargeable, and the charge rate. Now you'll see now it's showing that it's going to have the campervan data, and we're then going to have the basic data to do with the installations as a sub form, as you can see there. So we'll click on next and see what happens. We now get the option for datasheet or tabular. Now you can probably get away with datasheet, but tabular, it just means that you can edit the subform a lot easier. So you're better off going for tabular. And then what are we going to call it? Well, our form might as well be campervan. That's absolutely fine. That's what it is. The subform, equipment installation subform, that's fine as well. It describes what they are. So I'll click on finish, and we've now got our form. Now we'll look at the photograph later, but a few things need tidying up. Well, look, we've got the leading zeros. That's good. They've come through. Registration, purchase date, disposal date. That's fine. Let's just go to one that's got a disposal date. Yeah, that's coming through. Okay. This needs shortening, and we need to make our subform a bit bigger as well. So we just need to do a few little things to make it look a bit better. So if we go to design view, let's reduce the original value. Oops, daisy, undo that, and we'll reduce that like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move equipment installations above there, and then we'll move this across. We can make this bold and make it as a title. So if I do bold, and let's go for 16, and we've then got equipment installations, put a space in there. And what we can also do is, if we just move this down a bit further, what we can do is just put the photograph. No, we'll leave a photograph there. No, we'll put a photograph over here, and then it's out of the way. What we'll do is we're going to move everything down, and we can then put in a label up here. So if I go back to design and use a label, not a text box, but use a label, and then this can be to say these are campervans. So we're separating the campervans from the equipment, and again, well, I can right hand click on it this time. Can do it the same there. So actually it's much easier to do it by going home. So bold, and I think I set it to 16 points did I before? Yep, there we go. This needs widening, so if we click off it, click on it, there we go, let's widen that a bit. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, everything nearly fits in, the description doesn't quite fit in. So we just need to move everything across a bit, and then we can fit the description in, and the charge rate probably doesn't need to be quite that big either. So what we can do, we'll make the charge rate a bit smaller. We can then move everything across, and I think really we are going to need some more space. I'm just going to widen this a bit, and then we can make that wider. Highlight all of those, move them all across a bit, and then we can make our description a bit longer. And let's see what it looks like. So here's our form. Okay, everything's filling in. We'll be doing our calculations later, but that's so far. So the next video tutorial will just take you through some of the customizations we need to do and the photograph as well.